Hi, and welcome to Cultivating Compassion in the Workplace, my review of Chapter 13 of our text, Finding the Space to Lead, a Practical Guide to Mindful Leadership by Janice Martirano. Chapter 13 focuses on what the author believes is the most transformational leadership fundamental and presents some of my personal experiences with compassion, as well as some additional resources on the role of compassion, forgiveness, and emotional intelligence in the workplace, and also how practices to cultivate compassion might be implemented in real world scenarios. I chose this chapter because I do agree with the author that compassion lays the foundation for the other three fundamentals of leadership, which are clarity, focus, and creativity. And I also have experienced firsthand the power that compassion can have on interactions with others and how just by being kind to another human being, it can break down cultural barriers. The concept of feeling another person's suffering or empathizing with another person is embedded in my workplace culture, and I'm very fortunate that it is. I also chose this chapter because I believe kindness is the cure for many societal ills such as racism and bigotry, and that by learning to practice compassion in our own lives can have a positive impact on our own lives as well as the lives of others. In the article Experiencing and Managing Emotions in the Workplace by Ashkenazi Neal and others, their research during the 2010 EmoNet conference in Montreal revealed that when the emotional needs of employees are given priority that is equal to that of other organizational stakeholders, also known as stakeholder theory, the organization as a whole collectively builds emotional intelligence and they are able to become more responsive to the emotions and needs of each other. The implementation of this theory in the real world may be an emotional intelligence course where all employees receive knowledge on exercises they can do to recognize their own emotions. The course can be presented on the company intranet as it is in my workplace through our university site of online courses, and I have had the opportunity to take that course, and I found it to be very helpful in my ability to relate to my fellow employees. When it comes to using compassion to increased productivity is a boon for any employer, and ways to increase it seem to always be on the minds of employers. In the article, Why Compassion is a Better Managerial Tactic Than Toughness by Emma Seppala, the author points to research that the suspension of judgment and a shift to forgiveness when employees make mistakes may be one way to increase productivity, as well as build trust and garner a sense of loyalty among employees. How a leader reacts to employees' mistakes can boost or destroy morale, and I personally have witnessed an instance of this during my time as a teacher's aide, where a student had misplaced their instrument and the band teacher berated them so badly in front of the other students that the student decided to quit the class altogether. This resulted in a detrimental impact to the student because they no longer had the opportunity to socialize with their fellow classmates. They lost the opportunity to be able to work as a team and build those skills that only come from working as a team, and also to learn a valuable skill of learning an instrument. And I can personally say that I have never seen an instance where berating an employee or family member or student where understanding and compassion would have been a better response has worked in the leader's favor. Implementation of compassion to increase productivity in a real world situation would be simply reminding leaders to think before reacting to employee errors and see the mistake as a coachable opportunity and a way to build a bond. Making forgiveness normal in the workplace may seem like a radical idea at first because culturally the workplace norm prioritizes fault finding over forgiveness. However, forgiveness is another point in the chapter of our text that focuses on compassion. Forgiving ourselves is a conduit to forgiving others and is described in the article titled Forgiveness in the Workplace by Michael Stone as being a trait that, if implemented by leaders, allows for greater creativity and flexibility in adapting to changes in the workplace by employees. In my work life, forgiveness has taken the form of my employer providing me a form of time off called wellness time. I accrue this time based on my hours worked, and if I'm able to take it with no advance notice and I'm not penalized. So if I'm feeling burned out or not feeling well, or if I have an emergency, I have the flexibility to take this time and not feel like I'm doing something wrong and my employer holds no hostility towards me, and in actuality, they want me to feel better and they're giving me the opportunity to rest and recharge. And in turn, I show my gratitude by coming to work happy. It makes me want to come to work because I feel valued and taken care of. I give my best effort and I work hard. Technology as a medium for building compassion. We did discuss in class during one of our weekly reflection posts about how technology might be preventing us from being fully present at times and seeing the big picture. While it can be argued that too much technology can be detrimental to our ability to focus, research has shown that technology can also be used in the workplace to lift our mood and be used as a tool to build compassion. In the article Finding Meaning at Work, the role of inspiring and funny YouTube videos on work related well being, author Sophie Bowles and others present findings during a study that took 200 full time employees and found that the employees who were able to watch uplifting, motivational videos reported better moods and higher energy surges. Since YouTube is often banned on company intranets, implementation of this form of a compassion building technique may look like the HR coordinator disseminating a selection of uplifting videos via company newsletter that is sent weekly to employee emails. At my organization, we have the opportunity to engage with weekly newsletters that provide us with tips about maintaining our well being while working from home. And my company also creates its own clips that promote our core tenets in a humorous way, but also in a way that gets the point of the value across. Mindfulness as a tool for building compassion. This is coming straight from our text. Mindfulness may be one of the most effective tools for cultivating compassion in the workplace. In Chapter 13, research is cited that shows that over 50% of a study group that attended an 8-week mindfulness retreat that focused on teaching the participants how to meditate, taught them breathing exercises, and how to be still long enough to focus on the here and now demonstrated compassion towards persons with disabilities by giving up their seat to someone who appeared to need it because they were on crutches. Only 15% of the group did not respond in that way. The chapter goes on to identify that the first step to cultivating compassion is recognizing that we all have the same fundamental needs to feel safe, to feel strong and healthy, to feel happy, and to live with clarity and equality to one another. One way the author suggests leaders learn how to do this is through the mindfulness exercise of kindness meditations. Leaders specifically can take time to do this at home before work by being seated, drawing attention to their breathing, taking several deep breaths, and repeating the 4 fundamental needs in the affirmative that they need to feel them as well as others. Implementation at work of this meditation should start by employees being aware of the meditation exercise. And the good thing about meditation is that it does not cost anything. It can be done in one's own home and not on company time. And the instructions can be sent via email as well as a video clip demonstrating a leader in the organization performing the exercise. I will conclude the presentation with a quote from the author that states that cultivating compassion often begins with a kindness practice that helps us to recognize and open our hearts to the fundamental needs of all human beings. During this course, I have been able to do that through learning what mindfulness is, how to use it to bring focus to my personal life, and also clarity, creativity, and more kindness to my professional life. Listed here are the works that I cited for this presentation if you are interested in reading the full text. Also listed are the sources where I retrieved my images. And lastly, thank you and have a great day.